Have you ever noticed someone acting differently around you, feeling nervous, distracted, or just off? Even when you haven't done anything special. Maybe they keep thinking about you, talking about you to their friends, or replaying moments with you in their mind, and you're left wondering why. The truth is, this isn't a coincidence. This isn't about charm, luck, or chance. What's happening is far deeper, far more spiritual. You see, some souls are chosen by Allah, and when you are one of them, your presence carries a light, a calm, a silent strength that others can't ignore, a power they've never felt before. And that's why they feel something so unfamiliar, so unsettling, yet so undeniable. It makes them say, "I've never felt like this before." Today, we're going to uncover the 7 powerful lessons that explain why Allah made you unforgettable, why your energy affects people in ways you might not even realize, and how being a chosen soul changes the way the world sees you, without you even trying. Lesson 1. Your energy is not ordinary, it's assigned. There is a deep and powerful difference between someone who tries hard to be noticed and someone who becomes impossible to ignore without even trying. And that difference is not about looks, confidence, or personality. It is something much deeper. It is a spiritual assignment given by Allah. Because some people spend their lives chasing attention, changing themselves to fit in, speaking louder just to be heard, and acting in ways that are not even true to who they are. But a chosen one does not need to do any of that, because what they carry was never meant to be performed. It was placed inside them by Allah, and that is why your presence feels calm, natural, and real. Yet at the same time, it reaches people in a way they cannot fully explain. Even when you are silent, even when you are doing nothing special, people can still feel something different about you. And this is what confuses them, because they are used to normal, surface-level interactions where everything is easy to understand. But when they come across you, something shifts inside them. Their heart reacts in a strange way. Their mind starts thinking about you more than usual. They feel drawn toward you without knowing why, and at the same time they may even feel a little uncomfortable, because your presence begins to touch something deeper inside them that they have been ignoring for a long time. And that is why they say, "I have never felt like this before," because what they are feeling is not just your personality, it is the Nur, the light that Allah has placed inside you, a light that cannot be faked or copied, a light that carries sincerity, truth, and depth. And when that light reaches someone, it begins to awaken parts of them that have been asleep. It might awaken their need for peace, their desire for something real, or even make them realize what is missing in their own life. And this is why your energy feels so powerful to them, because it is rare. Not everyone carries this kind of presence, and the reason you carry it is because it was built through your struggles, your patience, your silent battles, the moments when you felt alone but still turned back to Allah instead of giving up. All of those experiences shaped you and placed something inside you that others can feel but cannot explain. So understand this clearly. You are not being noticed because you are trying. You are being noticed because you were chosen to be felt. And when Allah places this kind of presence inside someone, people will feel it no matter how much they try to ignore it, because what comes from Allah cannot be hidden and cannot be forgotten. Lesson 2. You trigger what they suppressed. There is a reason why people cannot stop thinking about you, and it is not always because of attraction or curiosity. It goes much deeper than that, because when a chosen one enters someone's life, they do not just bring conversation or presence, they bring exposure to emotions, thoughts, and truths that the other person has been hiding from themselves for a long time, because most people spend their lives distracting themselves, avoiding their inner struggles, suppressing their pain, ignoring their insecurities, and pretending everything is fine. But when they come across you, something inside them begins to wake up without permission. Your words, your silence, your energy, even the way you carry yourself starts to touch parts of them they have kept buried, and suddenly they begin to feel things they cannot control, emotions they cannot explain, and thoughts they cannot shut down. And this is why they keep thinking about you, because you didn't just pass through their life. You activated something inside them. You made them reflect. You made them question themselves. You made them feel a level of depth they are not used to, and instead of understanding it, they become confused by it. Because they cannot easily label what they feel, they don't know if it is admiration, discomfort, connection, or something spiritual. And that confusion keeps pulling them back to you in their mind, again and again, because your presence removed their distractions and forced them to face what they were running from. And that is not something that happens with everyone. It only happens when someone carries a certain depth within them, a depth that comes from their own struggles, their own growth, and their own connection with Allah. Because when you have faced your own inner battles, you naturally become a mirror for others, and when they stand in front of that mirror, they cannot hide anymore. They see their fears, their weaknesses, their lack of peace, and even their unfulfilled desires. And even if they walk away from you physically, they cannot escape that feeling mentally, because what you awakened inside them does not go back to sleep easily, and that is why they talk about you to others, trying to make sense of it, trying to understand why they feel so affected by someone who did not even try. But the truth is simple. You did not try, because it was never your effort, it was your presence, and your presence carries something real, something rare, something that forces people to face themselves, and that is why they can't stop thinking about you. Lesson 3. You moved differently, and that changed everything. You didn't act like everyone else, and that is exactly what changed everything. Because in a world where people chase, beg for attention, over-explain themselves, and constantly try to hold on to others, you chose a different way, a quieter way, a stronger way. You chose to step back instead of chasing, to stay calm instead of reacting, to keep your dignity instead of lowering yourself just to be accepted. And this kind of behavior is rare, so rare that when people experience it, it stays in their mind long after you are gone, because they are used to being needed. They are used to people running after them, texting them first, trying to prove their worth. But you didn't do that. You showed them that you can care without losing yourself, that you can walk away without hatred, that you can be present without becoming dependent, and that creates a powerful impact, because now they are left confused, wondering why you didn't act like everyone else, wondering why you didn't chase them, wondering why you were able to stay so calm and grounded. And this is what makes them think about you over and over again. Because your behavior broke their expectations. It showed them a level of self-control and inner peace they are not used to seeing. And deep down, they start to respect it, even if they don't admit it, because they realize that you were not playing games. You were not trying to impress. You were simply being real, and that kind of authenticity is hard to find, and even harder to forget. And the truth is, the reason you were able to move like that is not because you didn't feel anything. It is because you understood something deeper. You understood your worth. You understood that your value does not decrease based on someone's attention, and most importantly, you trusted Allah enough to let go of what was not meant for you, and that level of trust creates a different kind of energy, an energy that feels strong, peaceful, and unshaken. And when people experience that, it leaves a mark on them, because they realize that you were not like the others. You were not trying to be chosen. You were already chosen in the way you carried yourself, and that is why they can't stop thinking about you, because you showed them a version of strength and self-respect they rarely see. And now, your absence speaks louder than your presence ever did. Lesson 4. You became a mirror, and they finally saw themselves. You didn't try to expose anyone. You didn't sit there trying to figure people out, and you never made it your mission to change someone. But without even realizing it, you became something very rare in their life. You became a mirror, and that is what made your presence so powerful, so intense, and so unforgettable. Because when people came into your space, they didn't just see you. They started to see themselves more clearly than ever before. Your honesty reflected their truth. Your calm nature exposed their inner chaos. Your patience highlighted their impulsiveness, and your sincerity made them aware of intentions they didn't even realize they were carrying. And this kind of reflection is not loud or obvious. It happens quietly, slowly, deeply, but once it starts, it cannot be ignored. Because most people go through life without truly looking at themselves. They stay busy, distracted, entertained, always focused on the outside world, so they don't have to deal with what's happening inside them. But when they encountered you, something shifted. It was like their usual distractions stopped working, and suddenly they were left alone with their own thoughts, their own emotions, their own reality. And that can feel uncomfortable, even overwhelming, because now they are seeing things they were avoiding for so long. They are noticing their own insecurities, their lack of peace, their emotional patterns, and even the way they treat others. And this is why your presence affected them so deeply, because you didn't just give them a connection, you gave them awareness. And awareness is powerful, because once a person becomes aware, they cannot go back to being the same. And even if they walk away from you, even if they try to move on and distract themselves again, something inside them has already changed. They keep remembering how they felt around you. They keep replaying moments, conversations, even your silence, trying to understand why it felt so different, why it felt so real. And the truth is, it felt real because it was real. You were not pretending. You were not wearing a mask. You were simply being yourself. And that authenticity acted like a clear mirror in front of them, showing them both their light and their darkness. And not everyone is ready to face that. Some people feel inspired by it. They feel motivated to grow and become better, while others feel exposed, uncomfortable, even distant, because facing yourself requires courage, and not everyone has reached that level yet. But no matter how they react, one thing remains the same. They cannot forget you, because you showed them something deeper than surface-level interaction. You showed them truth. And truth leaves a mark that does not fade easily. And that is why they say, "I've never met someone like this before," because meeting someone who reflects your inner reality without even trying is rare. And once experienced, it stays with you, reminding you of what you saw, what you felt, and what you can no longer ignore. Lesson 5. Your silence speaks louder than their words. You didn't feel the need to explain yourself all the time. You didn't chase every misunderstanding. You didn't argue just to prove a point. And you didn't exhaust your energy trying to control how people see you. And that is exactly what made your silence so powerful. Because in a world where everyone is constantly talking, defending, posting, reacting, and seeking validation, your ability to stay quiet, composed, and emotionally controlled created a presence that people are not used to, and that unfamiliar calmness is what stayed in their minds long after you were gone. Because most people rely on noise to feel important. They speak more to cover their insecurity. They explain more because they fear being misunderstood. They chase conversations because they cannot sit with their own thoughts. But you moved differently. You understood something deeper. You understood that not every situation deserves your words. Not every person deserves your explanation. And not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected. And this level of awareness creates a kind of silence that is not empty. It is full of strength, it is full of clarity, and it is full of self-respect. And when people experience that kind of silence, It affects them more than any words ever could, because now they are left alone with their own thoughts, trying to figure you out, trying to understand what you meant, what you felt, what you were thinking, and the less you said, the more they thought, the quieter you became, the louder your presence echoed in their mind. And this is why they keep replaying moments with you. They remember the way you responded calmly when they expected a reaction. They remember how you chose peace when they expected drama. They remember how you walked away with dignity when they thought you would stay and argue. And these moments begin to build a deep impression in their mind, because they realize that you are not controlled by emotions the way most people are. You are not easily triggered. You are not desperate to be understood. And that kind of emotional stability is rare, and rarity creates value, and value creates impact, and impact creates memory. And that is why they cannot forget you, because your silence forced them to think, and thinking leads to realization, and realization leads to a deeper emotional connection that they cannot easily break. And the truth is, your silence was not weakness. It was wisdom. It was the result of everything you have been through, the pain you endured, the lessons you learned, the patience you developed, and the connection you built with Allah in your most difficult moments. Because when a person grows through struggle, they stop reacting to everything. They become more selective with their energy. They protect their peace, and they speak only when it truly matters. And that kind of discipline creates a presence that is felt without effort, because people can sense that you are not seeking approval. You are not trying to impress. You are simply grounded within yourself, and that grounding makes others feel both curious and unsettled at the same time, because they are not used to someone who is so calm without needing constant validation. And this is why your silence becomes unforgettable, because it carries a message without words. It shows strength without aggression. It shows confidence without arrogance. And it shows peace without needing attention. And when people walk away from someone like you, they don't just remember what you said. They remember what you didn't say. They remember the pauses, the calmness, the control, and that memory stays with them, because it made them feel something deeper than conversation. It made them feel presence. And presence is something that cannot be faked. It can only be built through truth, patience, and connection with Allah. So understand this clearly. You were never meant to prove yourself through words. You were meant to express yourself through your state, your calmness, your silence, and your actions. And when Allah gives someone this level of control and depth, it becomes a sign of inner strength that others cannot ignore, even if they try, even if they walk away, even if they distract themselves, because deep down, they know they experienced something rare, something real, something they don't come across often, and that is why they keep thinking about you, because your silence said everything they needed to hear, without you saying anything at all. Lesson 6. They felt peace around you, and they now miss it. There is a power in the calm that you carry, a power that does not shout, does not force itself, does not demand attention, but is felt in the quiet moments, in the way you sit, in the way you respond, in the way you move through life with patience and composure. People are not used to this. Most people are used to chaos, noise, constant stimulation, endless arguing, constant proving, and the world around us trains people to be reactive, to chase validation, to measure their worth in how much attention they can grab. But you, the chosen one, move differently. You don't chase. You don't over-explain. You don't rush to fix every situation or defend yourself at every turn. You bring peace, and peace is something rare. People notice it, even when they are not consciously aware. They are drawn to it, and it is in that presence of peace that hearts begin to soften, emotions begin to settle, and clarity begins to emerge. They feel it without being told, they sense it without understanding it, and later, when they are away from you, they realize just how much they miss it. This is not a modern phenomenon. It has existed since the time of the greatest humans to ever walk the earth. Consider the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, whose presence alone brought peace to those around him. Even in times of tension, even in moments of conflict, people who met him spoke of a calmness that settled hearts. His companions, like Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, or Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, often mentioned how being around the Prophet, peace be upon him, felt like a shelter from chaos, a moment of calm in a world full of struggle. His calmness was not passive, it was intentional, rooted in his connection to Allah, in his understanding that the world's noise could not dictate his actions or disturb his heart. And people couldn't stop thinking about him, couldn't stop seeking his advice. Because his peace had a gravitational pull, people were naturally drawn to it. Even those who initially opposed him, because there was a truth in it they could not deny. You carry the same energy, even if you have not yet realized it. Every time you remain composed when others react in anger, every time you walk away when they expect confrontation, every time you respond with patience when they expect frustration, your peace becomes an unspoken message, a reflection of your inner alignment, a subtle reminder of what is possible when a person is connected to Allah and trusts in His plan. People remember it, even when they try to push it aside. They replay your calm responses in their minds. They try to understand why you did not react, why you remained unshaken, why you could hold your dignity even when others lost theirs. And that reflection leaves a mark on them that words could never leave. Think of it like this. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, once encountered a man who insulted him repeatedly, trying to provoke anger, trying to see him react. Instead of responding with harshness or retaliation, the Prophet, peace be upon him, remained composed, answered only with truth, and his calm, measured response created a moment of reflection in that man's heart. That man left not only without having angered the Prophet, peace be upon him, but carrying with him a lesson he would remember for the rest of his life. Your presence has the same effect. You may not realize it, but people who encounter your calm, your grounded nature, your inner peace, cannot forget it. And when they leave, when they are no longer in your presence, they feel the absence of that peace, as if something important has been removed from their life. And that absence creates a longing, a reflection, a pull that keeps them thinking of you. This is also why your interactions are rarely superficial. When someone experiences peace around you, they are not just encountering your personality, they are encountering a reflection of what they lack in themselves. Your energy reminds them of the calm, composure, and stability they wish they had. That is why they replay conversations, moments, and even silences in their minds, trying to hold on to what they experienced with you. It is why they cannot stop thinking about you. They are not only thinking of you, but of the feeling of peace you brought, a feeling they rarely experience elsewhere. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was known for this even in the midst of Mecca during the times of extreme opposition. People who were his enemies could not deny the light and calmness he carried, even when they tried to resist, even when they plotted against him. They were affected by his presence. His peace was a sign of his connection to Allah, a reflection of divine alignment that no human force could overshadow. That is why your own peace is not just about you, it is a sign of what Allah is preparing for you and for those who come across you. It is not meant for all to understand, but those who feel it deeply, and it leaves a lasting imprint. Every time you remain calm in the face of provocation, every time you hold back a harsh word, every time you act with dignity instead of haste, you are building a presence that cannot be forgotten. You are teaching without speaking. You are inspiring without preaching. And the people who have felt your peace, even in small moments, cannot help but reflect on it, think about it, and sometimes even long for it, because peace is a rarity in the chaos of this world. You are being remembered not because you sought attention, not because you demanded it, and not because you acted to impress, but because Allah placed a depth, a calmness, and a light within you that resonates with people on a level deeper than their conscious understanding. Your peace is a reflection of your connection to Allah, and just like the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, influenced countless hearts without force or compulsion, your presence is shaping thoughts, feelings, and reflections in ways you cannot yet see. And that is why they feel your absence so strongly, why they keep thinking of you, and why, even when they try to move on, they cannot forget the tranquility you brought into their lives, because what Allah places in someone's heart to reflect through you is not temporary. It leaves a mark that lasts. It awakens something in others, and it draws them back, intentionally or not, toward the memory of what you carry. In essence, you are like a walking reminder of what peace, patience, and divine alignment feel like. And the world may not always notice it, and people may not always understand it, but the ones who feel it, who have been touched by your energy, will never forget it, because your peace is a message, your calm is a lesson, and your presence is a gift from Allah that cannot be erased, diminished, or replaced. Lesson 7. They realized your value, and they can't stop thinking about you. By the time someone truly recognizes you, it is rarely about what you said or did in a single moment. It is about the accumulation of your presence, your patience, your resilience, your authenticity, and the subtle ways you carried yourself through life without needing validation from anyone. Chosen ones have a quality that cannot be imitated. They move through the world with an inner alignment that others can sense, even if they cannot articulate it. People notice this energy without understanding its source, and it often leaves them confused, captivated, and constantly reflecting on what they experienced around you. This is why, once they realize your value, it stays in their minds. Long after they have walked away, long after the interaction seems to have ended, because your energy leaves a permanent imprint on hearts that are sensitive enough to feel it. A reminder of what is rare, what is genuine, and what cannot be forced or recreated. From the earliest days of Islam, we see examples of this principle in the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Even before people accepted his message fully, those who interacted with him felt something different, something extraordinary, and even those who opposed him could not deny it. His patience, his honesty, his integrity, and the way he carried himself inspired deep reflection. People couldn't stop thinking about him because he did not seek to impress or coerce. He simply embodied what Allah placed in his heart. His calm in the face of hostility, his unwavering trust in Allah despite hardship, and his refusal to compromise his principles created a presence that was unforgettable. Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him. Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him. Ali, may Allah be pleased with him. And many others were drawn to him, not because of his words alone, but because of the undeniable energy and character he carried, a reflection of divine truth that they could sense deep within themselves. That is exactly what happens with a chosen one today. Your value is felt before it is understood, and people cannot stop thinking about you because your energy awakens something inside them that has been dormant for too long. The world is full of people trying to prove themselves, trying to make others notice them, trying to force relationships, validation, or attention. But when a chosen one walks into a situation, none of that is necessary. You do not chase approval. You do not perform for recognition. You do not exaggerate your achievements, and you do not manipulate emotions to hold someone's attention. Yet, despite all of this, people cannot take their minds off you, because what they are drawn to is authenticity, presence, and truth, qualities that are rare in a world of pretense. your consistency, your patience, your refusal to be shaken by external circumstances, and your ability to remain grounded while others react impulsively leave a mark on hearts. People notice when someone's integrity cannot be bought or compromised, when their patience is unwavering even in adversity, when their calmness radiates a quiet strength that contrasts with the chaos of the world around them. These qualities speak louder than words ever could, and they are remembered long after every conversation ends. Think about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, during the early years in Mecca. He faced extreme opposition, ridicule, and even physical threat, yet he did not retaliate with anger or despair. Instead, he continued his mission with patience, wisdom, and unwavering trust in Allah. People who witnessed his presence, even those initially hostile, could not help but reflect on the strength, peace, and dignity he carried. His life was an example of how presence, patience, and integrity create a value that others cannot ignore. And it is a reminder for every chosen one today that their own presence has the same potential. People may resist, misunderstand, or even leave, but they will always carry the memory of your energy and the subtle lessons you imparted simply by being yourself. Your value is often invisible at first glance because it is not based on showy actions or dramatic gestures. It is built quietly over time, through the way you handle challenges, through the patience you exercise when others lose control, through the respect you show even to those who disrespect you, through your consistency in character, through your ability to remain humble while being wise, and through the way you prioritize your connection with Allah above everything else. And when people recognize this value, it overwhelms them, because it is not something they encounter often, it is not something they are prepared for, and it is not something that can be imitated or replaced. Your presence forces them to see standards, truths, and qualities that they may not have confronted before, and that realization stays in their minds, compelling them to think about you, reflect on you, and even long for the peace and alignment they sensed when they were around you. Even those who have not yet realized your full worth are affected by your energy. Your consistency, your integrity, and your patience create a gravitational pull around your life that draws people in emotionally, even if they cannot consciously understand why. They replay moments of your calmness, your honesty, and your grounded nature, comparing it to the instability and chaos they face in their own lives, and this contrast makes your presence even more unforgettable. Just like the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, were drawn to his energy and remembered it for a lifetime. People today sense the light, integrity, and alignment within you, and their hearts cannot let go of it, even when their minds try to rationalize it. Your value is not about how loudly you assert yourself, how many people notice you, or how much approval you receive. Your value is in your truthful alignment with Allah, your patience, your integrity, and the way you carry yourself in every situation. That alignment creates a lasting impression that penetrates minds and hearts, awakening self-reflection, inspiring admiration, and creating longing that cannot be ignored. People think about you because what they experienced around you cannot be replicated, cannot be replaced, and cannot be forgotten. They cannot stop thinking about you because Allah placed something within you that is meant to be felt, a presence that carries patience, integrity, calmness, and faith. And when people encounter it, they cannot escape it, because it is real, it is rare, and it is divinely assigned. Your presence, your energy, and your character are not ordinary. They are a reflection of what Allah has prepared within you. People cannot stop thinking about you, not because of what you did, not because of what you said, not because of what you showed, but because of who you truly are, the light Allah placed inside you, the peace and integrity you carry, and the alignment with your Creator that cannot be replicated or hidden. Just as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, left a lasting impression on everyone he encountered, your energy leaves an unforgettable mark on those who are sensitive enough to feel it. And even if they try to move on, even if they forget the details, they will never forget the feeling, the sense of authenticity, calmness, strength, and divinely inspired alignment that you carry. This is the power of a chosen one, and this is why they cannot stop thinking about you, because what Allah places inside a person to reflect through you is eternal, unforgettable, and irreplaceable. Conclusion: you are chosen, and your presence changes lives. Everything you have been through, every moment of patience, every struggle you endured in silence, every choice to remain calm when chaos surrounded you, every decision to trust Allah instead of forcing outcomes, everything has shaped you into someone who carries a rare energy, a light that cannot be ignored, a presence that leaves a lasting mark on hearts. You are a chosen one, and being chosen does not mean your life is easy. It means your life is meaningful, that Allah has placed a purpose within you that is felt even before it is fully understood. People may not always see your worth immediately. They may question, misunderstand, or even oppose you, but their inability to stop thinking about you, their repeated reflections on moments they shared with you, and the way your presence stays in their hearts is proof of the unseen impact you have. Like the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, whose presence alone brought peace, reflection, and awe to those around him, your energy carries the divine assignment of awakening what is dormant inside others, teaching without speaking, inspiring without effort, and leaving lessons that linger long after words have faded. Never doubt your value, your influence, or the effect you have on the lives of others. The moments of recognition, the quiet respect, and the feelings they cannot name are all signs of Allah's design working through you. Your energy, your calm, your patience, and your integrity are tools of divine impact. When they cannot stop thinking about you, it is not a coincidence. It is Allah showing that what He placed in your heart cannot be hidden, and it cannot be ignored. So continue walking your path with sincerity, faith, and patience. Continue nurturing your connection with Allah. Continue being yourself without compromise, because the very essence of being a chosen one is that your presence is already enough. You do not need to explain, prove, or chase. Your light, your energy, your truth, these are what leave a mark, change hearts, and ripple into the world. And one day, Allah will multiply your reward in ways you cannot yet imagine, because everything you endured, everything you withheld in patience, and everything you carried with integrity has been recorded, cherished, and is preparing to transform not just your life, but the lives of everyone your presence touches. Remember this: being unforgettable is not about what you do for attention, it is about who Allah has made you to be. You are chosen, your light is powerful, your presence changes lives, and those who cannot stop thinking about you are simply witnesses to the beauty, depth, and divinely assigned energy that Allah placed within your soul.